All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us for tonight's team call. It is February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. We're not doing anything for Valentine's Day, but that's all right. I hope you guys enjoy it with your loved one. I'm not going to do any announcements today. I think we're kind of like up to date in the team page. Next week, I think we will still have a regular announced team call, same time Tuesday. The week after that, I believe it's the 26th. That's when our team call is going to be, and it's going to be with Isabel Deichler. So it's Carl Deichler, the CEO's wife, is going to be on our team call. So we will not have a Tuesday night call that week. It will be on Monday night, and someone else is going to announce that call. I will be on vacation. I probably won't even get on the call, but I will definitely watch the recording. So just kind of mark that down. Monday, February 26th, Isabel Deichler. You want to make sure that you get on that. You're just going to get so much information about nutrition and hear her story. She's not just the wife of Carl Deichler. She is all about Shakeology. She's the co-creator with Darren, and from, when we had Darren on our team call, how amazing that was. I'm pretty sure it's going to be just like that. So that's all I got. I'm going to shoot it over to Leah, and she is going to announce our speaker for tonight.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm in my car, so it's a little bit weird lighting, but I am very excited to announce tonight that we have an awesome guest speaker. I invited Laura Gallop to do our team call tonight, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about Laura. Sorry, my phone is just frozen. Okay, so Laura is from Colorado. She is actually a 3-star lifetime diamond coach. She is a 2018 Premier Coach last year. She does have, she did help 6 people rank advanced to diamond. And she has 3 kids. She's married. She has a really great story. She is also a nurse. She works 2 days a week in the ER and has a very long commute. And I know from her coach, who I'm friends with, that she is just a huge hustler, a huge heart, and she's had some really great success. She started in 2015, advanced really quickly to diamond in 24 days, and then star diamond in 3 months. So I actually listened to part of this call that she's going to share with us about in like a training group, and it was really, really good. So I'm excited for you guys. I had a lot of aha moments. I'm excited for you guys to hear about it. So Laura, go ahead, take it away.
Hey, just excuse me, I have a head cold, so I'm like super congested, so all the sniffling and everything, I apologize ahead of time. It's funny, Leah, because I was trying to find like what call you heard me on, and I can't figure it out because I was like, I want to be that good on that call. but I'll do the best I can. It was really good for me to be reminded of my avatar today, because I think that it's hard because not a lot of you aren't on video, but who has done an avatar creation of any sort? Okay, so a couple of you have, maybe. Okay, cool. So basically, if you've done an avatar creation before, like you have to kind of look and see how deep you got. And basically, I forget who says it, you guys. I'm sorry. It's also like 8:30. No, I lied. It's 8:30 where you are. I'm delirious. I forget who says this quote. Maybe someone can help me out. But if you try to speak to everyone in your post, you're going to end up speaking to no one. So that's part of the point of creating an avatar. If you've ever sat down and like taken a look at all of your contacts and friends, I encourage a lot of my new coaches to do that first. Like all the people in your life who you have connection or contact with, or want to have connection or contact with, and fill out like a dream team list of coaches and or challengers. That's what creating your avatar is helping you do. So when I got like really, I kind of done it, like a little half-assed it. And then in another training that I was in, they were encouraging me to really get really, really specific, because if you just say my avatar is a 35-year-old mom of 3 kids who works a little but is home a little, you know, like that's just so basic. That's like 50% of the moms on the internet or whatever it may be. So you want to get really, really specific with it, basically. So you want to start asking questions. I was just going to show, I have a little slideshow I'll share with you, but I was just going to show a few things before I do that, because I'm just going to take my picture away. But this is like where, this is just a bunch of random notes that I started writing about my person. And I named her Lindsay, and then I named her Lacey, and I really, an LACI, I don't know, it just like came to me, and I'm like, okay, Lacey's the name. And then I started searching for pictures of her on the internet, and it so happens that mine's Miley Cyrus, actually. I'll show you guys in a second. But the reason I chose her is because she looked like a hip mom. I don't think she's a mom, but I'm pretending. She had beautiful, like curly, long hair that was purple in this picture. And like, I can relate to the fun colored hair, even though I'm 37. I like to, pretend I'm young. And like, she's kind of toggled with 5 or 10 pounds when I've seen her in history, maybe, on TV. So you want to think about like who your person is, because although I have helped people that are maybe like super overweight or have 100 pounds to lose, that's not really my avatar, because that's not where I come from. That's not the experience that I hold. And it's not true to my story. I lost 5 pounds when I started Beachbody. It's not a huge, like, weight loss thing. So that's part of my avatar. Is it's going to be, mine's obviously a mom, just because I connect more with moms, though I do have a few people who aren't moms. This isn't like exclusive. It just is to create a picture. So this is what it looked like when I started. And I'm just going to bring up, if there's anything else I want to show you beforehand. Okay. And you think about, your avatar can give you direction for like things like Instagram too, for searching hashtags. Like, you're thinking of words and you're thinking of themes of a person you're trying to speak to. So let's see if I can share a screen. If you guys have questions, just please like interrupt me. Let's see if I can figure out how to play. I practiced this, you can't tell. I mean, I practiced trying to play it, and present. Okay. So, okay, that's going to take me away. I hope that's okay. If you guys unmute yourselves if you have a question or something. So this is just talking about, so who is your avatar? It requires you to get super specific. Another way to think about it, if you try to target everyone, you're going to target no one. So do like I did, do some brainstorming, come up with a picture, come up with a name, and try to think of your avatar's personality. So for example, like my avatar's personality, like they have to get or understand sarcasm at least and think I'm funny. And they have to have some dry sense of humor. They've got to be okay with cursing, because I have a cursing problem. But think about like their values, So I had jotted down, she thrives on being a mom. She loves giving to people less fortunate than she is, so she loves helping other people. She's really a people person, but she can be really shy. She's struggled with being really introverted when she was young, but she's really come out of her shell. So like, you can do a combination of speaking to, I wonder if I can make this like not full screen so I can still like see a human. Okay, there we go. Is that okay with you guys? I just feel weird, like I can't talk to anyone. Is this okay?
Yeah, it's fine. It's a little harder to read, but I mean, if you're going to be talking about it, like, it's fine.
Shoot. Let's see. I don't know how to make it any bigger without taking. Would
Yeah,
you
I
guys
know what you
prefer
mean.
just
Like when
not
you
to see
can't see
me?
people, it's like, this is
I just
weird.
like I'm like, are
I
there people
know.
still there?
Like, who am I
It's
talking
like
to?
so quiet.
It's okay. Just leave it. I think we can be
Okay, I know the
we're fine.
coloring's a little odd, but yeah, I'm gonna be talking about all these things, and then I can share this little. Sometimes these questions are good. Like I can just share this presentation with your team because the questions are nice to have in front of you when you go and try to create your avatar. Um, but so think about values. Like, are you super religious? Like, if you are super religious, most likely the people you're going to connect with are going to also be religious. It doesn't mean that you're not going to connect with someone like me who's more spiritual and doesn't go to church. But if you go to church every Sunday and it's, those values are really, really important to you, you might want speak to someone who has those same values. It doesn't mean you're not going to get me's along the way, if that makes sense. So, do they already like to eat healthy, or do they love junk food and they like, beat themselves up every day because they eat so much of it and they're just like in a downward spiral. So it'll get into this in just a second, but you're not only going to look at all the things that your avatar loves, likes, does, is interested in, all of that stuff, you're also going to want to look at things that they struggle with, because like you are probably trying to do in your post right now, when you talk to somebody, when you post, you're trying to hit someone's pain points. They're like, oh yeah, I struggled with that, like binge eating after dinner too. Laura struggles with that, but she looks like she's having a lot of success. I'm going to reach out to her. So you want to like touch on pain points. So it's really important to um so to talk about the pain points, basically. Are they into makeup? Are they into shopping? And when you start thinking about those, like I said, that can cross over into Instagram, because Instagram is getting so big now, like what kind of makeup brands do they use, that type of thing. um and another thing with your avatar is, if you're crazy about this one makeup brand or something, you can go and you can look at people on Facebook who like that makeup brand, and then you can see people that like it, and then maybe if you have other common interests, you can comment on something they wrote on the page or whatever. It'd be another way to network if you have all these things written down that are important to you. Do they like shopping? If they like shopping, where do they like shopping? And then we're going to get more specific than that. If they like to shop at Forever 21, why do they like to shop at Forever 21? If they like to shop at Target, why is that? Is it because they live in a really small town and it's the only store they can get to? If they shop at Forever 21, is it because they never have any extra cash and like the only place you can get a shirt for $5 is Forever 21? Think about all those reasons. Like, for every answer to a question that I have written down or that you think of, like, I can't think of a random one right now, but think of the why behind the answer. Like, think about getting more specific than you would initially think to get. Where do they like to travel? Because just being like, my avatar loves to travel. Well, I mean, like 95% of the population likes to travel, or the US population at least likes to travel, right? So like, let's get more specific. Mine, loves to go to the ocean. Mine likes to do like backcountry things where they're in hut trips or whatever. And then getting into that, what hobbies do they like to do? Do they like to mountain bike and trail run, or do they like to sew, or have movie nights, or go out drinking with the girls, or whatever? Like, write all these things down, anything you can think about your avatar, because those will start eliciting like ways that you can help them. So I'm like really long-winded right now. Hold on. Okay. So then, like I just said, what are their pain points? What have they struggled with? So my avatar, because this is something that is so near and dear to my heart, has always struggled with feeling like they're enough. They've always struggled with feeling like they give enough, and that they are just enough in general. They've struggled with self-esteem, they've struggled with self-worth. And so that's like a pain point that I personally love to talk to people about. Like, my person, maybe they've had an eating disorder. That's something I can talk to. Like, think about the pain points that you're, however old you guys are, I don't know. But for me, I have a 37-year-old mom signing up today, and like, one of her pain points was one of mine. I didn't even know it was my pain point when I started, but I felt isolated. Like I worked 2 days a week, and then all the rest of the days I was home with my kids. And often my husband would be gone on the weekends because he would go do fun things when I was still breastfeeding a baby. So there are pain points. Like one of the things that I love about my team and Beachbody so much is how it's connected me with all of these other women. And that was one of the things I talked to this girl about on the phone today. I was like, I'm not being fantastical. Like this connection, this community has been huge for me. So I share that, and the person that signed up with me today, she is like 100% my avatar. Is that because I've been looking at this avatar stuff for the last week and thinking about like who I want on my team? Maybe. I mean, you think about what you put out into the universe is what you get back. So who I'm talking to is who's going to come find me. So think about things they've overcome in their lives. Like, what do they search on Google? Think about that. Like, it's so crazy, but like, are they always searching up like random health ailments? Like they're always freaking out that they're sick and they want to be like as healthy as they can be, but they don't know how to do that. Who are they complaining to? Do they have close friends, or are they really, have a couple of friends, but mostly really isolated in their own work and family or whatever kind of life? I put down here, which is one I hadn't thought of before, but what kind of secrets do they keep and why do they keep those secrets? Because those are like really deep things typically. You want to just try to get really, really close and intimate with your avatar, if that is such a thing. And then the other thing I like to do is just to think of words that would come to mind when talking about your avatar. Like my examples, I'm just going to read what I wrote here, were scared, brave, warrior, needy, independent, messy, disorganized, OCD, neat freak, laid back, high strung, sassy, timid, sarcastic, dry, weird, funny, silly, outrageous, etc. Like think of words that would describe your person. Like busy would be one of my words. Like most of the people I'm targeting are busy and they don't have time probably in a day to go spend 20 minutes to drive to the gym, change, have a gym class, spend 20 minutes to come home, that kind of thing. Or they need really quick meals. Like that's one of the things a lot of my people need help with is mealtime. So that's like, I'm trying to think if there were any other things. And back to like the picture of your person and you're thinking about your avatar, think about their weight, what they look like, how much weight they have to lose. If you're someone who's lost 50 pounds, you're going to speak a lot to people that have lost 50 pounds who need to lose 50 pounds, excuse me. What kind of pages do they follow on Facebook? Another cool thing to do if you want to like spark, just new ideas for you is if you have a couple of people that you went to high school with or whatever, and I've had this for a while on my dream team list that maybe haven't joined me, or a few that have. Sometimes I'll go to their pages. If you go to their info section, they'll have all of the pages they've liked, and that might give you ideas like, oh yeah, my avatar likes this. My avatar is really into this, my avatar is into this comedian, or, because my girl Kelly has like such a dry sense of humor like I do, and will like giggle over the most ridiculous stuff. She likes this comedian. That's probably part of, that could be their following could be a lot of people with my avatar or who fit my avatar. Think about what they're an expert at, like if one of my niches is being a nurse. And so, are there like nursing forums or nursing websites that maybe these people like or belong to or graduated with, or nursing specialties, things like that. Just get really, really specific. And then the rest, I'm going to show you, I'm going to make this big so you can see. I have a couple pages of Lacey, but let's see. So this is why I liked Lacey, because she had this sweet purple hair. The girls on my team joke, they're like, she's a hot 45-year-old. Like, yeah, she's probably 20 in this picture, but still. I like to think I look young. So these are qualities for my avatar. I'm just going to read through some of them just because it can give you ideas and you might have similar qualities. I created this, I think on PicMonkey. I don't know. I use PicMonkey and Canva, but I think I created this one on PicMonkey. So personal qualities of Lacey: she's caring, happy, and positive. She's motivated. She's anxious, but she wants calm in her life. She's super messy and disorganized. She's giving, loving, extroverted, introvert, meaning like, it's hard to even describe because I feel like extroverted introverts really overused now. So I try to think of people who have like, I guess, essentially come out of their shell. She's a constant worrier. She is adventurous and spontaneous. She is courageous. She's a little hippie, au naturel, spiritual, forgiving, sarcastic, dry sense of humor, loyal, potty mouth. Okay. And then I made a list of things she likes: the outdoors, helping others, sunshine, kids, coffee, red and rosé, chocolate, sleeping in, comfy shoes, purple, essential oils, reading, mountain biking, trail running, lifting weights, cardio, getting dressed up, understated makeup, staying in hotels, the ocean, giving money to the less fortunate, the F word, sorry guys, shorter running races, approval from others, recognition, camping, yard sales, fires, organized people. Like, I'm so jealous of organized people, so it's something I love. And I have a few like OCD mamas on my team, which is awesome. So it doesn't mean that, like, you can sometimes attract the opposite of what you are too, which is interesting. But she loves hand-me-downs. She craves feeling loved. And then I won't read all this, but, well, I guess maybe I will real quick here. But what I wrote here is just start writing, let the ideas flow out of you. Don't like censor what you're writing about your avatar. The reason you're doing this is so that when you go to post tomorrow after your workout or after you make an amazing meal, I'm going to know to talk to Lacey. Lacey's a mom to 2 small children. She sometimes feels like she's going to pull her hair out, and she gets super sad when she yells at her kids, right? She's married. She lives outside of town. She thrives on loving her children, but she's searching for something more. Maybe she doesn't even know that yet. She loves to take care of people. She takes criticism hard and wants to be accepted by everyone. She's loyal and would be there for any of her friends if they needed her. She loves to feel healthy, but she also loves indulgences like wine, cheese, and chocolate. Loves hanging out with girlfriends and having drinks, travel and adventure with her family, especially to the water. Like, the ocean calls me all the time. So that's like just a way I feel connected. She's not super overweight, but she's struggled with eating disorder. She's struggled with 5 or 10 pounds at any given time. Super messy by nature, always trying to find ways to get more organized and efficient. So that's like one of her things she's looking for. Maybe on Pinterest, she's looking up organization boards, all that kind of stuff. She loves doing fun things with her hair and changing it up. Her style is pretty understated otherwise, but she does love to get dressed up and put on makeup. She's fiercely loyal to her friends and family and has really good, strong friendships that mean the world to her. And that is my presentation. Let's see. So basically, I feel like you just have to do, I mean, if you've heard other people talk about like brain dumps, like do a brain dump of your avatar. I can send this out so you just have some questions to go off on. And like, that's why I was showing that this is so messy and there's like random things written in, because I'm like, oh, and this. And even when I read it out loud, I like to like add things. And even I made that, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. I like to add stuff when I'm researching, you know, like on Instagram, you're going to research hashtags and people that you might connect with, and you might realize different like new parts of your avatar that you didn't realize before. So that's pretty much what I have. Do you guys have any questions about anything? I also wanted to say, because I did tell Leia this and she told me, and she said it in my introduction, that I'm a lifetime 3-star diamond, but I have 6 people get to diamond. So what that means is that 3 people that got to diamond with me are no longer diamond. 2 totally quit, and 1 is like maybe dabbling again. So I just feel like it's really important for you guys to see, because I think a lot of times, especially when you're a newer coach, and I don't know where you guys are in the coaching like picture, but you're going to lose people, and it's really heartbreaking sometimes, and it's not something I do well with, but you can still build a team and don't lose like focus and passion because somebody else isn't willing or wanting. It doesn't mean they're not willing, but if they're not wanting this business, that's fine. Like, they can go their own path, and then you just need to keep looking for more people who are. Like, you guys, the girl I signed up today has already done her coming out post. She's been following me for 3 years. She's super pumped to coach, and she's like, I've been so scared to ask you about it. I've invited her before and she said no. So just know that people are watching you, and your message that you send every day is getting to them. And part of getting that message to them is speaking to an avatar. If you just have boring like messages every day, or like quotes, or your workouts and like a flex muscle, like that gets really boring. You have to speak from your heart and speak to the pain points of your avatar. I think that like when I speak about painful, vulnerable things, I get like a billion times more likes than I do on any other post that's like me flexing a muscle, you know? So I know that's not really avatar related, but I just feel like Catherine, who I signed up today, is like 100% my avatar. And does it mean she's messy? No, I have no idea actually if she's messy, but it means that like my posts have been getting the message across that I want to come across, if that makes sense. So it's worth the time, you know, take an hour and make your avatar.
Thanks for being so vulnerable with that. I think so many coaches tend to think like we're all perfect, and like, crap, if I kept all my diamonds, I'd be 15 star by now. But like, that's just like not reality. Like, people come and people go, but who are you going to be? Are you going to stay? Because who cares what, who cares what they're doing? Yeah. And your avatar, I think you hit that like spot on. There's so many times I see coaches post and I'm just like, it's the same thing every day. If I'm getting bored, I know other people are getting bored about that. So now it's not like, 2 years, a year ago, posting on Facebook like 3 times a day was the norm. Now it's kind of like 1 or 2. You don't want to just post something just to post something, like, like post a quote and say, good morning, like boring. Make your post purposeful to the people who you are talking to. So that's why you want to make your avatar, right? So like what story you want to share in your post, what way you're going to connect with people, and that emotion, right? Like, that's the whole point of writing this out, so you can get that emotion through in your story through of how that's going to really impact the person that you're trying to reach. So when you're doing your post, try and think like, is this reaching my avatar? If I was, looking in through like the window, would that be a coach that you would want to follow? Do you know what I mean? Like, so go through your Facebook, and sometimes you have to do like those self assessments of, ugh, like, I haven't been doing so great. Like, that was totally a post to just post. And I'll be honest, I totally done that like plenty of times. But I've been making it more of a point to do more quality of posts and not quantity. Quantity is just like going to speak to nobody. Like Laura said, when she first started, you can speak to everyone and you're going to be talking to nobody. Like, you need to hone in, get really specific on who you want to talk to. And when you post, make sure it's quality and you're sharing a story, making those connections and having that emotion behind it, not just post to post. So that's all I got to say. But thanks, Laura. That was
one other thing. I'm sorry, can I say one
No.
other thing?
Yeah,
I was
go
just
for
thinking
it.
about this because, the last like few months is when I've been starting to really utilize Instagram stories, and I'm like half-assing the Facebook stories. Like I am trying to do that. But like, even just what music, like if you're doing your workouts, if you do like 4 or 3 15-second blurbs of your workouts, do you put music on it that speaks to you? Like I might put music, something different in the background if I'm like cooking or something, but for workouts, like I've got to have booty shaking music on, and like that's going to connect with certain people, so think about like your stories too, or like what you say on your workouts, or if you're talking about how it hurts, or maybe you hate working out, but you want to have a nice booty, so you do it, like just be honest and real about who you are, and that's going to attract your people to you. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, that's awesome.
Laura, I have a question.
Yeah.
So when you where do you find that you are best able to find your avatars? Like, do you use a Facebook page, Facebook Likes page, Instagram?
You mean like in terms of a cold market?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I'm like the best person to ask about that, truthfully, because I don't think so. I'm using the avatar a lot on my Facebook business page in terms of like trying to find, I am in that Jesse Reagan training and trying to find my niche in terms of what audiences I'm speaking to. But um, I, I, I feel like I feel like I use the avatar more to craft posts. Like when I read my personal development and I'm like, oh shit, that reminds me of when this happened like 5 years ago and I felt like a piece of whatever and like this is how I overcame it and I want to share that with people. Then I can look at and think about my avatar and think about who I'm speaking to. I don't feel like I use it well yet to like actually actively recruit people. But I feel like someone like today is someone that I've reached out to a few times over the last couple of years. It's not a cold market person that signed up today, but it is someone that's been watching me. And then she's like, now I watch your IG stories all the time. And like your workouts just look so cool. And like what you're doing seems so cool. And you also share when you drink wine or whatever, you're a real human. So, but I think that they're really useful too in terms of like going, if you guys watched or listened to the National Wake Up Call a couple weeks ago when she was talking about, hashtag creations and like figuring out putting in different keywords for the things that are like a theme for you in your life, that it's really useful to have your avatar there for that reason. I don't know. Did that answer your question? I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how like I pretty much use it too is like speaking in my posts.
Right.
But I was wondering, I mean, I'm just getting into Instagram and I'm wondering if like that is something that maybe coaches are doing really successfully is like really digging into their avatar through hashtags on Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the people I've listened to at least, and I'm not successful on Instagram yet. Like that's something I'm still really learning. But like even today when I was like getting some stuff together for this, I was like in the, in the hashtag generator or whatever, I was typing some of my keywords. I'm like, oh, that's a cool thing. Like that's a set of hashtags that I could like try to put together in terms of like representing this part of who I am that would maybe attract other people. And then it's super helpful for the business page in terms of like trying to figure out and like hone in on specific audiences. Like even if you take some of the like, there's like level 1 that's like Target, and then there's level 2 that's like, I don't know, a brand at Target, and then level 3 that's whatever. Like if you do a level 1, and then even the thing I learned from this training was to go and find like, say my new girl that's signing up today, if I go to her page, look at her likes, and then find, I'm not trying to search for her people, but to see different things that her as one of my people that I've attracted likes, so I can see like other ideas maybe for my avatar, different, like pages that I could see who's liking that, who's interacting. Like you want people that are interactive on Facebook. If they're not doing anything ever on Facebook, it's not necessarily going to be someone that will interact with you on your like page or in your posts, I think it'll be really helpful for Instagram as I try to get better at it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know if that answered Carrie's question. Did you see it, Laura?
I'm a rambler. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So Carrie,
That's okay.
So most of my coaches come through challenge groups. But like one of my coaches who is like a super amazing, she's full-time now, like she is a runner. She was, so technically I guess she was from challenge group. She was in a challenge group when I very first started in 2015. And then, she did like 2 months. She had great results. She fell off. We talked a couple times, but she was a good friend from high school. And then one night randomly she texted and she's like, so do you actually make money? Like what's going on? And I was like, yeah. And I mean, she literally signed up that night. Like she was diamond in under 30 days. Like she was such a little rock star. So I think I think what's hard for some new coaches to see sometimes too is just the long term, and like the more that you are present and consistent being present for your following, those people will come back to you. Like it was actually really funny because Catherine, who's joined me today, we talked, I guess it was, no, it was yesterday that we talked on the phone for the first time. And she was like, yeah, you know, I see Rodan and Fields everywhere, but like, I just can't stand behind that. Like, it's just not something I'm into, but like, I see what you do and it just seems so healthy. Like maybe she would have gotten dragged into Rodan and Fields if I hadn't been present enough in her, you know, like Instagram story or Facebook or whatever. And like, do you go by Rosemary? I'm sorry.
Oh, you can call me Rose.
Rose, okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. Like Rose was saying, I just totally lost my train of thought, you guys. What were you saying? Oh, like not posting like a million times a day and being like, you don't want to just be, you don't want to be like a blur and they're like, oh, another post from Laura, keep scrolling, she says the same thing every time. So you're going to get, I think you'll get active coaches through both, but you also like have, in order to recruit coaches, people have to know what you're doing. So you have to share stuff even if you're not there yet. Like share a friend who's successful. Like I started sharing, you know, it felt easier to me. I started sharing a year ago about, yeah, exactly, fake it till you make it, or faith it until you make it. Like you can share friends that are super successful, or like now I made a full-time income this last year. And is it a full-time income enough for me? No, but it's probably a full-time income enough for a lot of other people. So like share that you're paying for, you know, your kids' dance class or whatever. That was one of the things I shared before I was making much money, that I was able to like buy ski lessons and send my kids to dance class, you know? So you have to share that coaching is changing your life. You can't just share workouts and nutrition if you want to attract coaches. So that's just another thing you have to think about with your avatar and their pain point. You know, share that you like paid for all the groceries for the whole month or whatever, you know, like things that maybe my husband and I were worrying about before Beachbody. He lost his job in November. And before that, we would have like lost it. I mean, we would have really floundered. And like with Beachbody, we didn't flounder, and we were able to bridge the gap for him to get a new job. Like anything, it doesn't have to be that. That's like very dramatic, but it doesn't have to be that significant. But just share things that make a difference in your life so that you're attracting people that maybe are like, oh, remember when Courtney said that she was making like an extra $500 a month or an extra $100 a month and like paid for Valentine's Day dinner? That's cool. I wish I could do that. And then maybe she'll text you or call you or something, you know, or message you, which is what most people do. I'm a rambler, so you guys can stop me now here.
No, you're good. Does anybody else have any questions or comments?
Cool.
Awesome.
Thanks for
Laura,
having
thank
me,
you
guys.
so much.
Yeah,
We
have a good
appreciate
night.
it.
Thank
Okay.
you, Laura.
You.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.